What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. My name is Adam Palmer. I am your host. This is the Hobby News Daily Morning Minute. Today is Wednesday, July 2nd. And on today's episode of the podcast, we have some news about a Fanatics event and some news about two things that I'm not super happy with that went on in the sports card industry this week. Yesterday's episode, I pretty much just talked about a couple cards that sold, and there wasn't a ton of news. I mean, cards selling, I think, is news. I think realistically that I've almost tried to, in some pieces of content throughout the past, think that card selling isn't a big piece of news, but it is. But on today's episode, we're going to be talking about a couple different things. One, I'm just going to get it right out of the way. I think, unfortunately, we are seeing a company that I'm not 100% sure if it's actually going to come to fruition, what this company is trying to do. And it is called Collector's Card. And it is a credit card for people who are in the sports card industry. I don't know. I looked into their LinkedIn and stuff, and it seems like there's people who have been in the industry before. But I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this. I think honestly, the main customers who would be using a credit card that is specifically made for sports cards, I think, unfortunately, are the exact ones that shouldn't be using a credit card to buy sports cards. I think, I have done it in the past. I mean, I will admit I'm not the best with credit cards. I'm getting a little bit better. But overall, I just think that the people who are the main customers for this card just shouldn't be using that. You shouldn't be buying sports cards with a credit card. You shouldn't be grading stuff with a credit card. I mean, unless it's you have a credit card and you get points or whatever. But even then, it's from what I've learned, if you're not paying off the card, the points are almost useless. So I think, I don't know. I mean, I really wanted to I saw the company floating around, people talking about it on Twitter a little bit. And I kind of want to get my first opinion and my first thoughts on it. And I'm going to be honest, I'd be surprised if it actually launches or if it lasts very long at all. I don't know if we're going to see a Ziegler type situation where they just don't launch. I know that that was the AI grading company that, I don't know, apparently there was some conspiracy that it was just trying to data farm and get people's opinions on stuff. I don't really know exactly what happened with that, but it's just a company that unfortunately didn't read the room or wasn't able to launch correctly. So, unfortunately, that was one of the other kind of news stories that came out of Fanatics Fest. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that company, I don't know what's going to happen to it, but like I said, I just don't think anybody who's using credit cards to buy sports cards shouldn't be. I mean, I would even go a step further. If you're going to buy sports cards, put double what you're going to spend half of it and put half of it into a savings account or the stock market or anything. So that way, if you're buying something, at least you're saving. That's a tip actually I got to put on TikTok soon. It's more of an advanced tip, so I've been waiting to post that one. The other interesting story here, it's interesting and unfortunate at the same time, I think. So Panini, probably a week or two ago, Panini put out a promo video for Caitlin Clark signing a bunch of cards, and there was flawless, there was impeccable. I think I did almost a whole episode on this, and from what it looks like, unfortunately, those were all cards that were just going to be put into this box, the royalty, which from people talking about it on Twitter and what I saw, they did a Dutch auction. It started at $30K and it hit the floor, which was $3K. So very bad if you're Panini and trying to sell those cards. I think, unfortunately, that means that those cards are not going to have full products with them. That was something where last week I was talking about. I was like, if Panini has the license for the WNBA, they should start expanding their product base. I mean, it just makes sense. And from the looks of it, they saw what Topps did with the Wembanyama $8,000 box, and they were just like, that's what we're going to try and do. Which, I think was one of, I don't know, I think that Mercury Topps Wembanyama box was maybe one of the worst sports card products I've seen in quite some time, just in terms of a completely 100% money grab. I don't know. It just really did not sit well with me, the fact that they would try and sell people something for $8,000 where the top player is Wembenyama and the autographs and all the cards in there are not licensed. This has a very similar feel where I was excited that Panini was finally going to be expanding a little bit more some of their base cards. And like, I thought, and now it sort of makes a little bit of sense why they put out some of these images, like the downtowns. I guess they'll still be in Donruss. I think there is still going to be Donruss, but they put a lot of downtowns in this product also. So I don't know. It's an unfortunate decision by Panini, just from the fact that I wish that they could have put out more of these products with players. Like the box itself was, you got one on-card auto that was either Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, which I think are two of the best players. Like, I've talked about them being the two best players from that draft class. Fine. But then they have other rookie downtowns and Kaboom inserts, and then other Panini brands, like I said, Flawless, National Treasures, Impeccable. And Donruss is in there too. So I'm not 100% sure. I think Donruss is a full product that still is going to be coming out for Panini for WNBA. But at least for right now, unfortunately, they decided to go with, I don't know, a money grab. I don't know what you want to call it. But unfortunately, they decided to go with a rookie specific product, and really, I don't know. Because the whole thing about those cards is that they're supposed to be valuable because you can pull them out of a box. And if you're just getting them directly, it almost takes away the value. It almost takes away the excitement, I guess. So the last story of the day, it appears that there has been confirmation from the San Diego Convention Center that Fanatics is going to be in San Diego. This is not something necessarily that Fanatics has promoted yet. But it appears that it was on the San Diego Convention Center website that they are going to be doing an event from December 12th to December 14th. And, Fanatics hasn't come out and said anything yet, so I don't think we have any full details on the event. But it really, if they're going to try and do two of those events a year, I'm interested to know what they're going to look like, if I'm going to be honest. Like, how much money is Fanatics really spending on these events? And where is because Fanatics, if they are nothing, they are a company that likes making money. They are a company that we've seen time and time again, whether it's the jersey industry, or sometimes in sports cards, they like to cut corners a little bit. And but they also love spending money on marketing. So maybe that's all part of it. Maybe that's part of this. So we're going to see if they come out with an announcement. I would imagine that the fact that it's on social media now, they probably will have some sort of announcement coming soon. But overall, this is, we're going to, in December, have another Fanatics Fest with the National. Like, I can't believe the National, like, almost less than a month away now at this point, too. So with the National coming up, maybe that's where they announce it. I'm not 100% sure. But it looks like in December, if you missed this last Fanatics Fest in New York, there's going to be a Fanatics Fest in San Diego. Might be a little bit tougher to get to, but also maybe it'll be easier to get to for some of those people on the West Coast. But that event appears like it is going to be happening in December.